Hello, hello, hello. We are the ladies of Read, Watch, and Wine. And I'm Rhea.
Treva.
Champagne.
And Lynn.
And we are here today, live and in living color, to bring to you our book to movie adaptation of
Bridgerton. Oh, you look like you were getting ready to break that down, Champagne.
And of course, before we begin, we're always going to have a little talk about what we're drinking today.
So what are we drinking today?
My all-time favorite. Lynn, can you read that for me? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Moscato deuced. Thank you very much.
Moscato deuced. I don't know. I can't read the brand name.
Risata. Risata.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very good. White wine. I like it. It's my favorite.
So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, first of all, thank you for joining us on our first live. But we are a podcast. We started off as a podcast, and basically what we do is we love to read books and then watch the movie adaptation, and then you guys can tune in with us while we talk about how we feel about that adaptation. And it ends with us giving the adaptation a rating. So I don't know, Lynn, you want to talk a little bit about our history?
Sure.
For those of us folks who are not familiar with us.
We basically started off as a book club like a decade ago and enjoyed the same books. Well, not all the same, but kind of just made this like giant pool of books so we all could share and talk about them. And over 10 years, 12 years, something like that, we all decided to go to Vegas for their brother, not my brother, my cousin's birthday. And as we were there in Vegas at brunch, we were talking about one of our other episodes that we've already recorded, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, the newest one, Spiders something and whatever, but whatever. And how the adaptation kind of made us all want to like cringe. And as we were many, many mimosas in, Treva suggested we make this a podcast. And I didn't quite like, but okay. I was like, whatever, let's go with it. We get back, hit the ground running, and now we're here.
Yay! Thanks, Lynn. I know I threw you off guard. But I figure for those folks that are joining us, they may not be familiar with us. But anyway, so what book are we talking about today? Did we talk about that already?
Bridgerton.
I'm having camera issues.
All right, so let's get started. I guess let's start
Here we go.
The book.
Which is called The Duke and I.
The Duke
and I. Yeah, so it's the whole series. And this is a unique review because it's actually a series, not necessarily a movie. We've done a couple of series. So you'll probably be hearing more about this particular series from us because I think there's six books in this series.
Yes.
The first book is The Duke and I, and which ends up being season 1 of this Netflix series. So let's talk about the book. I'm not a romance novel reader, but this one got me. And crazy or not enough, this was my book choice, but I don't know how that ended up that way because I don't read romance novels. But Champagne, did you like it?
Well, you guys know I love love, so
Love.
anything to have anything to do with romance. So yeah, I loved it completely. So
yeah,
I know some of the people in this video right now don't necessarily like the romance novel. I'm not going to point them out, but don't know where. Yeah,
This was not my cup of tea. I was dreading reading this, like, oh my God, this is going to be so bad.
really?
And sometimes it kind of lost me because I was like, can I like get through? Because I don't know, the whole talking, fantasizing about the Duke was like driving me crazy. But as a whole, as in once it wrapped up in succession, I really enjoyed the book. Like, I guess the ending that added on more than what the series has. So I actually was a fan of that.
Yeah.
So for me, I was going to say I liked it from the beginning to the end. I thought it was a pretty interesting story. As long as I can follow along with it, I'm good. And I felt like the way it was written, it was a very easy read and very easy to kind of follow through the flow of what was going on in the story. So that's why I really, really liked it. And I like the setting. I'm a theater buff, so like I really like that whole setting of back in the day. To get to the different lifestyles of each one of the groups of individuals in the story. So I really, really enjoyed this book completely.
I found it interesting because of the time period that it was so easy to read. Normally, at least for me, with these type of books and the English accent and all this stuff and going too far back, it's just like, yeah, I'm out. I can't. I don't know what's going on.
Or you're really trying to figure out like what they're trying to say because they could have said it in like 4 words, but they said it in like 25 words.
Basically, exactly.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean by that.
That part was easy for me because we know I'm long-winded, so that part I was good with.
But I did enjoy the book. I mean, because of the time period, I can.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if y'all want to just move into the series, but when I was reading the book, all I saw was like, I don't know what you typically see from that time period, but I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the series.
Well, I really like the diversity because in the book, they will have you believe it's, probably true that we weren't in that time period, or, we're not snob-nobbing with the rich and the known. So I do like the diversity of the series. It was a pleasant surprise. I was not expecting.
Yeah, it put a whole new spin on it. We were never put in those types of errors. And like you said, we weren't there, but I just felt like the book was all right. I liked the book, but once I saw the characters in the series,
now you gonna make me put my fan.
So I actually watched the series first, and then once we decided to do the podcast, I read the book. And so I actually was kind of like nitpicking through the book, like where or when did they say something about like the race of like any of these characters, let alone like the royalty? Not one place. So when Shonda Rhimes decided to slide it on in there, I was like, yes.
That was perfect.
And take away from the actual storyline, it makes it perfect.
Yeah, I thought that was too cool. Go ahead, Champagne. Sorry.
I was just going to say, because it would have taken away, because it would take you to a whole nother mindset of having to focus on the slavery and all this stuff. So it takes you completely out of the goodness of this book, if for lack of a better word. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to think about romance and then have all of a sudden they throw in the race card, and I'm like, okay, so.
Right.
So I like that. I like that.
Well, I don't think anything in the story. Yeah, nothing in the story kind of led to that. Really, more talked about royalty. Mm-hmm. I think there was a couple scenes where they described people with like blue eyes and blah 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 blah. So the book was written for Caucasians. It was about Caucasians. But the way that Shonda Rhimes' mind works, to me, it's like, can I just sit and listen just a few minutes? Like 10 minutes of your time. That's all I need to just sit and listen. I'm not writing nothing down. It is amazing. Like the twists and turns that she creates, always captivates. I agree.
So as you mentioned before in the book, they talked about Simon. Simon was this blue-eyed, beautiful person. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. Shonda was like, you ain't got to be blue eyes to be fine, because I swear she found the finest man walking the face of this earth to play Simon, and he ain't got no blue eyes. I was like, I know that's right. And that's something we usually complain about. Well, they said this person had blue eyes, or they said this person had this. I'm not complaining at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
First selection.
Hey, do y'all mind if I go ahead and just piggyback on a fine man? Because I just want to thank Amos McCree for joining in and watching us. Shout out,
Amos McCree.
I like that she mainly focused on status. You know, if you were from this family. Huh? What happened?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I just like the fact that instead of using a race, she more so it was about your status in that era.
Right. And anybody could be of any status, regardless of your race or culture or background.
Right.
But how about the twist in the narrator? What do y'all think about that?
What do you mean?
Who was at, the
Lady Danbury was the narrator.
Yeah. Well, I did like that. I actually like that. Yeah.
So wait, Lady Danbury.
Not Lady Danbury, Lady Whistledown.
Whistledown.
No, but she wasn't the narrator in the series.
I thought she was.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So in the series, it was Lady Danbury. But
right, that's what I'm saying, the twist of it.
Oh.
It was Lady Whistledown. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If they would have made the narrator Penelope, then we would have known who she was right up front. So.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I like about it. Like they played it all so you didn't know who it was, but the way that they showed her in the series, you're like, And you go from thinking it's this person to thinking it's this person to thinking it's this person.
Right.
You know, for somebody who doesn't know, I thought that was pretty cool.
You know, a nice.
Like how I said future also. Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just going to say a nice, interesting twist is I love the hip hop violin covers.
Yes.
I know that song. Okay, I know that song. I thought that was interesting.
You know, music will make a movie or a series. Sometimes
Absolutely.
It can be worse, but I'm telling you, when the music is right.
With nothing.
Absolutely.
Look, nowhere near that time period, but it was perfect.
Right.
But I think that's what helps us come on
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's a
Connecting
vibe of what's
with
going on in the series.
Right.
So what is it that you guys absolutely could not stand about the transition or the adaptation?
It's really only one thing for me. I know.
What?
Huh?
What? You know, she usually pulling out a sheet of paper and another thing. And another thing.
And on page 267, they said, and I didn't like that at all. They said that. But go ahead, sorry about that. Go ahead.
And to be honest,
we all had the same reaction at least.
Exactly. I was like, wait, what? What's happening? I didn't know I was that anal.
No, it's okay.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And it may be, what's your word, Rhea?
Irrelevant.
It possibly may be irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Daphne's brother, you know how he was chasing away all of her suitors who were trying to marry her. But he wasn't as forceful, I guess, in the book as he was in the movie.
Exactly.
I didn't like that because she will never get married if that was the case. I mean, in the way he
maybe they were trying to make it more relatable,
right?
Like Big Brother type thing, but also since the next book is based on his story, they maybe were trying to make him more relevant than what he is. Maybe
that could be, and maybe we'll find out some secrets about him that kind of helps fit his character. I don't know.
Right.
Well, I mean, even with Daphne, they made her. When I read the book, I thought she was going to be this real tomboy type girl because in the book they were like, oh, the guys only want her as friends and none of them really like her. And she wasn't, she didn't start off with all those suitors because Lady Danbury said she was a diamond or gorgeous or whatever it was that she said. And she certainly wasn't dating the prince. Right. I don't know how I feel about that transition because remember, she was dating the prince and it was this battle between whether she was going to date the prince or date Simon.
Yeah, that true.
Wasn't in the book at all.
Right.
And I'm wondering what inspired that change.
There was a couple of changes. Simon didn't have his boxer friend and his wife. they didn't have a storyline at all.
At all.
So I
It
was
was cute, but it didn't have it at all.
Yeah, it was cute. Yeah, but yeah, it was kind of weird.
I think it was just one more thing to try to uplift, us as a people, to show the family side of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was nice, especially in this time and age. You know what I mean? But
that's true.
It was not.
But also like not just all the Black people were royals, that they were out. So you put us as royals, but you gotta put a little taste everywhere so nobody gets upset.
Right.
So one thing that I did not like about the series, and it is just one, Champagne, is that in the book, they really honed in on like Simon's insecurities about his stutter and how real that was. And that framed a lot of his personality. Yeah. But in the series, they talked about it, but I couldn't really feel like these insecurities or these hesitations when he was talking. And it seemed like they showed most of his insecurities really stemmed from the treatment of his father, which I know was part of his personality. But that stutter was real in the book. I mean, and they described him like not talking or hesitating when he responded to things. And you didn't get that in the series. I didn't get that in the series at all.
I think I got in the series that he was real thoughtful so I took it as, if I didn't read the book, I would have taken it as he was just a really deep thinker. And so before he started to speak, he kind of just thought about it and then talked, because he wasn't quick to say things, you know what I mean? So I think if they had done even something, sometimes they do that thinking in your head, something that would show him working on his speech. Although his aunt or his nanny or whatever did say something like, he's worked on it so much that he, you can't even tell he had this disability early on.
Right.
But that's I think what I would have taken from it, that he just really thought before he talked.
Mm-hmm. I would have did.
You really don't find anything out even about it until he goes through the whole scenes and everything with his father, with what he went through with his father. So I'm sorry. Now I'm starting because the glass is almost done.
Oh Lord,
I'm dead.
Slow down.
So another change that I actually like.
For me, what I wish that they would have added on.
Go ahead.
It's like a delay. It's really weird. Sorry, I keep like talking over you.
Go ahead.
So the end of the book. So I know a lot of people were really upset about the end of the series once they found out that the Duke Simon is not returning. And they were like, well, I'm not watching it anymore. I'm like, well, if they would have taken what the book had actually offered us as information-wise, where they kind of actually concluded Simon and Daphne's story, then it would have made it more like of a gentle ease to be like, Reggae Jean is not in the next season, which I was like, oh, not watching it. But now I'm like, I kind of get it, because each book does go through each different family members.
Yeah.
But I think they should have continued that in the series, because it would have made people a lot less angry.
Right. I mean, I for one could think that they should at least make a cameo and visit his mom's house or something. I mean,
why? Why? Because you just need to see him, or
I'm just saying. No reason. Just
you never know, Chandra. She might eventually twist and turn it back up in there. You never know.
Right.
That's a good point.
I'm with you, Champagne. I think he needs to make a special appearance, and it should be like poolside or something.
Basically, yeah. Bring the kids over, just family gathering. That's all.
Yep.
Couple minutes.
Like after school, take a dip in the pool.
Right, yeah. Taking a shower,
Right.
Nothing wrong with that. What? There's
just no ifs, ands, buts about it. That man was fine. We can move into casting and talk a little bit about the cast if y'all want. But
I just have one other point before we do.
Okay.
And it's a good change. A change nonetheless, but a good change. But and it could be irrelevant also, but his nanny.
Don't be letting Rand make you think things are irrelevant.
I know, right?
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Simon's nanny in the book was just that, his nanny. But in the movie, it showed Lady Danbury was the one who was raising him and teaching him how to talk. And I like that because it made her a little bit more relatable on the reason she was even in the series in the first place. Because it was like, you know, in the book, it was just like, okay, who are you? For me, anyway, I kind of lost who she was for a second until they did her little back.
No,
yeah,
I agree. Good point.
But yeah, that's all I had. I think everything else, I could not remember for the life of me who was actually Lady Whistledown. That I literally had to look it up. Like, I remember them saying who it was, but I'm not quite sure.
Oh my gosh, you didn't know it was Penelope.
I know.
Yeah. And I went the whole series, like every episode, it changed who I thought it was. It was driving me crazy.
Me too.
Predicting.
I literally thought, like, okay, it's Eloise. It's gotta be Eloise. Like, she's everywhere. And she's nosy and she's outgoing like that. And I'm like,
nosy as hell. Can I take a real quick pause again? Thank my brother-in-law, Dennis LaVoy, for jumping on the line and joining in.
What up, Dennis?
Doreen Doy, Auntie, thank you so much for joining in.
Hi, Doreen.
All right. So if anyone on the line has watched the series, I'm curious, what's your opinion of Simon, Doreen?
Now, what I need to say off the top, because I know my auntie's watching, you need to refer to this story that we're talking about, not two other movies ago.
All right. So, what did you all think about the cast of the series? I mean, we all know that you can't get no better than René.
Yes.
I'm just gonna sum it up. I have not one complaint. I loved everybody, especially Simon. But I'm just saying, I loved everybody. No complaints.
I agree, but
here she go.
But
I know what's coming.
Listen,
but
Daphne, sweetheart, the actress, your name escapes me. You are a beautiful young lady. I just did not picture you with my husband. So
why did you
her
go
name
there?
is
Why did you go there?
Denvar.
Thank you.
BB Denvar.
Can we give
Denvar?
Can we give one more shout out? Jacqueline Carter has joined us. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out.
So, Champagne.
Just asking for.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rhea.
Go ahead. I was just saying, we're just asking for anybody who is on the line now. If you watch, please type in what you think about the cast, because that's where we are right now. We're just summing up some of the cast, what we liked and did not like about the cast. Go ahead, Treva.
We just can't seem to get past Simon. And
we're back.
So I just think that he was such a great actor. I mean, there were some scenes that he just truly captured, like when they were in the hotel room and things like that. Like, he really showed his acting ability in those scenes. And
are you talking about acting like he's having sex or acting for real?
I don't even know what he said in the scenes. I don't even know what came out of it.
Well, I remember one scene in particular.
Hotel room.
Yeah.
Did you have a dream by yourself? Hotel room.
He was in the hotel room when he was like, one that burns for you.
Remember they went to like the little shack or whatever?
Yeah,
they went to the hotel and they stayed overnight that one night.
I thought they owned that.
No,
because he owns like all these properties throughout like London.
I don't think they own that one.
No.
I thought it was one of his properties, so I was like, hotel.
Either way, they all knew
My
it.
bad.
I don't understand how you don't remember that wedding night. I
remember. I just thought the thing was a hotel. I thought it was just like one of his properties, like his summer home. Because she was like, we haven't seen him in so long. He hasn't come back. So I was like, oh, thinking it was like just like a summer home or whatever. I know it was a hotel.
Right.
No, that was their final resting place. But the first one like, they went to was a hotel they stopped on the way.
Yeah. I wasn't making it up, Lynn.
She wasn't.
They had a big argument.
I mean, I was saying you weren't making it up either. You might have dreamt this separate of watching this. So that's why I was
Dreams can be real. Dreams can be real.
Exactly. We know how Rhea like embodies herself in every storyline anyways. I figured it was your turn, Treva.
Right.
I do imagine myself in a lot of these movies and books, correct, but this was not one.
Okay.
Are there other cast members?
You know what? I actually thought it was cool all the way down to the children. I mean, even the children were good to me. Yeah. All the way down to little kids. It was so good.
I agree. I love Daphne's mom. I love her as an actress anyway.
I did too.
I really liked her.
It was
so sweet. Even the queen. The queen was she gave Queen dumb for sure.
The queen. Oh man, I got happy every time she came on that screen. She was just like her resting bitch face for one is
real.
What is
amazing.
Was it?
She was judging every single person. Loved it.
I loved it too.
She was just like
with them lips poked out the whole time,
right?
And pursed.
With the
I think she could smile.
Horrible wigs that were just insane. Yes.
With that big, bold personality, but then in some scenes you really saw that soft side of her. She transitioned that really well.
Yeah, she did really good.
Yeah.
And what was the mother's name? The one that was the mother of that took in the girl that had the baby.
Oh, the Feathertons.
The Featherton.
Yeah.
Feathertons. I love that dynamic. I mean, that was a really good dynamic.
Yeah,
it was.
It definitely showed this woman that was trying so hard to fit in.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was interesting. I can't wait to see how those storylines continue through the series, because I just feel like something else has to happen with these people.
I think so too, and especially with the other girl leaving off with her, ex-lover's brother. Like, I'm waiting to see how all that ties in. I'm like, come on back and take care of your family. Come on back and take care.
Exactly.
Right. I know a little bit of that part is I read ahead by accident. So.
Okay.
I started it too, but
we're not gonna do no spoil. I haven't started anything, so I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna spoil it. Because she didn't even put it in, though, that particular.
That's true. That's true.
You guys, are you guys ready to rate the adaptation?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you tuned in, this is our rating system. If you loved the adaptation, you're going to give it a full glass.
Which Rhea has already devoured.
If you didn't love it, but maybe it's slightly under love it, you want to give it what we call a long day of work.
Yes.
Long.
If you thought it was okay, you want to give it a half glass. And if it was just poo-poo,
terrible,
give it a sip of wine.
Yes. Just a sip.
So I'm going to give my rating. This is getting a full glass. And it's for the lovely cast.
One in particular.
No, but the adaptation,
we didn't know why.
The fact that we didn't have a lot of complaints about it, to me, it was spot on. There were some changes, but it didn't change the storyline. It didn't change the dynamic of the story. I thought it was a fabulous adaptation.
Yes.
I agree. Go ahead, Champagne.
I agree 100%. A full glass. I will give it 2 full glass, 1 full glass just for Renee, and the other full glass for the TV show, for the adaptation.
It's definitely getting a full glass for me. I have not completed the bottle, but I did give it a full glass, as you can tell.
So I do wish that they added on that ending of their life together after the series ended, but in the book. Mm-hmm. But I'm still going to give it a full glass because I have no complaints besides that. So. That means
full bottle. All right, so that means we all gonna have a nice full glass of wine tonight. This
or already have.
Or already have had a glass or two.
Yeah.
All right, so this adaptation gets a full bottle. That's the highest rating you can get from Read Watch Wine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shonda Rhimes. Who wrote the book? Did we even discuss who wrote the book?
Julia Quinn. Okay, yeah, you've had
Julia Quinn. Yes, we did
about that earlier.
That was, an hour ago.
No, sorry.
Exactly. All right, so thank you everybody for tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook, of course.
At Rewatch Wine.
Yes.
Website, rewatchwine.com.
If you have any book recommendations, you can email us or DM us at rewatchwine@gmail.com. The next book that we will be discussing live is Woman in the Window?
Absolutely, Woman in the Window.
And I don't remember the author. Anybody remember that author? But that book, the adaptation is on Netflix, right, Lynn?
Correct. Netflix.
It's on Netflix, and is the movie and the book by the same title? Do they have the same title?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So check out
finally.
What was that?
I said finally the same book and title, like of movies or shows. It's just I get excited when that happens.
Oh, I know, right? Because then there's no confusion with people reading the wrong book and watching the wrong movie.
Basically.
Right, yeah.
If you have if you have wine suggestions for us, please put it in the what did I say? That. If you have wine suggestions, put it in the chat so we know. We'll come prepared with your wine. Maybe you can lift the glass at the same time. Y'all catch that?
All right, everybody. Bye. Thanks for your rating.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
Bye.
Turn it up. Turn it up.